Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yasharalah's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kadash, and the Akims and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity, all praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women, all praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there, making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures. All praises. Now, the title of this lesson that I'm going to touch on today is called The Bible Isn't a Package Holiday. Not all inclusive. So, because, the reason why I say that, because I was having a back and forth with a few Christian pastors over these last few days. And they'll keep running to scriptures that will say Gentiles in it and strangers. And they perceive with their unlearnt understanding that these are ethnic Gentiles that will receive inheritance with the children of Israel and, be in the kingdom. Now, when you even look at what's happened over history, now Esau, you have raped, robbed, murdered, you have mutilated, you have sodomized, you have not regarded the Most High God's laws totally. You've done worse than the Greeks, than the Romans, than the Babylonians that all came before you, even though you are the ancestors of the Romans and the Greeks, and but you've done worse than your forefathers, you Caucasians. But yet you expect to sit with the Israelites in an everlasting covenant. You're in your kingdom now. Live it up. Enjoy it. But yet, you want to rule here now, and you want to rule in the kingdom. Yeah? All the abominations that you're doing here now will not be brought in the kingdom. Yeah? That is not going to happen. Yeah? So my point of this lesson is to show you that this covenant, the Bible, the covenant that was given, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, and before you say it, don't even try with Genesis to say that Abraham, as it said, through Abraham, all nations of the earth will be blessed. Now, there is a difference between a blessing and an everlasting covenant. Because a blessing, you're in your blessing now. Yeah, I'm going to read you Esau's blessing. Show you that Esau is in his blessing. He's in this kingdom now. What we see now, the Caucasians are ruling. They set up laws. They got government. They got military might. They got economic might. They like all the schooling is on them. Yeah, you have to learn their history, their way of doing things to be deemed, shall we say, academic. So everything is set by Esau right now. That will change. So you can't be ruling now. And then and notice how you're not sharing your rulership now, but yet you want to share it with the Israelites in the kingdom to say that Gentiles are ethnic Gentiles, when these Gentiles the Bible talks of are Israelites that took on Greek customs and made themselves uncircumcised, and they were deemed Gentiles by the other Israelites that were still keeping the commandments and who knew who they were. And those strangers were Israelites that wasn't born in Judea or in that land. So when they came and they sojourned amongst the Israelites that were born in that land, they were seen as sojourners or strangers, but they were still Israelites, as in natural Israelites. They were not Gentiles, as in ethnic Gentiles. They were actually Israelites, were in a Gentile state of mind. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you 3 witnesses, because remember, at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, may every word be established. You know what, actually? I want to actually read that, but what I'm going to do, actually, no, I won't read that yet. When I start the lesson, I'll read that in 2 Corinthians 13. I'll read that. But here's the thing, because like I said, I was debating with these 2 or 3 pastors, whoever, and they mar the hell out of scriptures, as Caucasians do, because they're trying to write themselves into the covenant any way they can. Any little loophole or little breeze, that a doorway that just breeze will pass through, they'll try stick their foot in there and wedge the door open and feel they have a claim to the covenant. Because what? Because they believe. They don't do nothing what the Most High says, but they feel they got inheritance with Israel because they believe. And some of them believe they become Israel because they believe. It's absolutely ludicrous. And it's funny because one thing I've noticed, when they were in rulership, like literally ruling, and they had us as slaves, they didn't want to share the kingdom. We were kept beneath, and we were made sure we knew where we stood and where we were supposed to be. Now they're losing their grip, because the Most High now is given the correct understanding to certain brothers and sisters, and they're going out there waking up Israel and teaching. Now Esau has seen this, so he's still trying to have a stronghold on their teachings, what they've taught us over decades. They don't want to lose that grip they had, because now we can read and we can understand the scriptures, and we know that all that they have told us were a bag of lies. That's what it is. It's a bag of lies. Just to push their ideology, and just to push their all-inclusive doctrine, because the higher-ups, they know they don't have a chance. They know they better make the most of this kingdom, because this is it for them. But they ain't teaching the lower class. They're not teaching them. They're letting them believe that they have an inheritance also. All they got to do is keep pushing this doctrine. This is why you find that you have these Caucasians still trying to teach us that same deadbeat doctrine that we learned in slavery all the way up to now, and still pushing it. Now, with that said, I'm going to start my timer. But before I do, a reminder, this lesson is called, The Bible is Not a Package Holiday. It's not all-inclusive. I'm going to start my timer. I'm going to start actually with the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. And then what I want to do, I want to give you first and foremost 3 witnesses in the New Testament and 3 witnesses in the Old Testament pertaining to the covenant being for Israel, the promises, the covenant, and everything pertains to Israel, the children of Israel, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which now Jacob's name was changed to Israel and became the 12th tribe of Israel. So all them descendants, the covenant is for you, not for no one else. So with that, I'll start my timer. Here it goes in 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're away. Let's go straight there. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. And it reads, This is the third time I'm coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. There you go. So, showing you at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word shall be established. Now, let's get my first witness. What better than Yahushua, the one you call Christ? Yahushua himself, this is what he said. And the funny thing is, when you read this verse to Christians, they say, yeah, he said that, but it's no but. That's what he said. That's what he meant. Otherwise, you're calling him a liar. Because they missed the whole point of that story. But at the end of the day, this is what he still said out his own mouth. And this is Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. And it reads, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what he said. So no matter how else you want to say, yeah, but he did this though, but he did that. It's not the point. He still said he's only sent to Israel. That's what he said. And that's what he meant. So however else you want to try to spin it, it doesn't matter. You know, if you're going to negate the words of the Messiah himself, then it's on you. But that's what he said, and I believe him. Yeah? And then he goes on to say this. Yeah? This is John chapter 17, verse 8 into 9, and it reads, John chapter 17, verse 8, and it reads, for I have given unto them the word which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out of thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. Now listen to this, verse 9. I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. See that? So Yahushua, which is the one you call Christ, is telling you he only prayed for them who the Most High gave him. Who did he send them? Who did the Most High send Yahushua, which is called Christ? Who did he send them to? He told you in Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. See, it's that plain. That's one witness right there. Now, watch this. I'm going to give you another witness. I'm going to give you Peter. Listen to what Peter says. This is Acts chapter 5, verse 29, and it reads, then Peter and the other apostles, hear that? Then Peter and the other apostles. So it's not just Peter saying this. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. Verse 30, the power of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Verse 31, him has the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a saviour, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. So you see, there you go again. Peter and the other apostles. So that's even more than one witness there. I mean, like, I've just gave you the Messiah. Now I've given Peter and the other apostles. So that's more. It's really a done deal there already. But still, let me give you your favourite apostle, the apostle of the Gentiles, Paul, because that's what you like to run to, Galatians and all that, to try to say Paul is apostle of the Gentiles, which he is, but the Gentiles, the Israelites that were called Gentiles, that's who he's the apostle of. Now watch this, yeah? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 3, and it reads, for I wish that myself were accursed from the Mashiach, for my brethren, hear that? For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Now, when you look up the word brethren and even kinsman, it's showing you that it's his kinsmen, his bloodline, his people, which according to the flesh, he's going to tell you in verse 4 who they are, what I just read prior in verse 3. Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites? You see that? To whom pertaineth the adoption, yeah, to be adopted back in because you strayed, went off into idolatry. We call ourselves black, Afro-Caribbean, Jamaican, American, and all these other bywords. When you go to Isaiah 45 and verse 4 or 5, you know what? I don't want to misquote it actually. I watch this, yeah? It's Isaiah 45 and verse 4. It was verse 4, yeah. Listen to this. Isaiah 45 verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So you see, the Most High showing you right plain as glass that Israel, he's named us Israel. Israel, that's our name. Israelites, we are not black. Black is a color, yeah? You know, which they labeled us. We are not black. We are Israelites. Now, let me go back to Romans chapter 9 and verse 4. I'll take it from the top, actually. Romans chapter 9, verse 3. For I wish that myself were cursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, old covenant, new covenant, pertains to Israel. It doesn't say no other nation. I mean, this is simple basics. Pertain to Israel, yeah? The covenants, the giving of the law, the service of the Most High, and the promises. You lot got a blessing. We've got the promises. We've got the service of the Most High. We were given the law. The covenants belong to us. And the adoption, they all belong to the Israelites, yeah? There again. And watch this, verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh Christ came, Yahushua came, who is over all. The Most High blessed be the Most High blessed forever. Amen. Showing you again another witness. So we have Paul, as a witness. We have Peter and the other apostles that were with Peter at that time said this as well. We have Yahushua, which I just read to you. And I'll just give you one more just to blow it out of the water. This is John the Baptist's father, Zacharias. Yeah? Now listen to what he have to say. Listen to this. Luke chapter 1 verse 67. And his father Zacharias was filled with the Holy Spirit and prophesied saying, see that? So when you're filled with the Holy Spirit, you can't lie. Prophesied saying, blessed be Yahweh, power of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people. Verse 69. And has raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. Verse 70, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world begun. Verse 71, that we should be saved, that's salvation, in case you missed it, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Hear that? So Caucasian ain't going through this problem because there's no hand that hates the Caucasian and that deals with them badly. But us, you know, we have enemies on every side. Nobody likes us, you know, labeled us. They don't like you. They don't like us. They smile with you and pretend to like you, but deep down they don't. Yeah? And the Bible ain't lying. Verse 72 of Luke chapter 1. To perform the mercy promised, hear that, to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant. See that? So he made a holy covenant with the Israelites, yeah? That's what he made. He didn't make it with no other nation, right? Now, I've given you 4 witnesses from the New Testament. Now, let me give you some witnesses from the Old Testament. Watch this. Joel chapter 2 verse 32, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass that whoever shall call upon the name of Yahweh shall be delivered," meaning saved, same thing. "For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem," where the Israelites, you can't get round that, "shall be deliverance, as Yahweh has said, and in the remnant," and listen, "and in the remnant whom Yahweh shall call." So when you go to Isaiah, it tells you about the remnant of Israel, yeah? Because not all Israel will be saved. Only a remnant will return and keep the commandments and will be saved. And watch this, another witness, Hosea, watch this, Hosea chapter 1 verse 10, and it reads, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people," they were Gentiles, "ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them," the same people, context, prior in that same verse, children of Israel, it said, "There shall it said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God." And here we go. Look, watch verse 11. It's going to show you that. Verse 11. "Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel," because remember they were separated, there were two nations, "be gathered together and appoint themselves one head," which is the Mashiach Yahushai, the one you call Christ, "and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel," Israel. Boom! You know, you can't get round these verses. You can't. You cannot. Let me give you another witness from the Old Testament. Deuteronomy 14 verse 2. And this is what Moses says to the Israelites. "For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above," not equal, not sharing, not below, "above all the nations that are upon the earth." Now get round that, yeah? It's that simple. Yeah, now, watch this now. So I've given you 3 witnesses from I've given you 4 witnesses from the New Testament, and I've given you 3 from the Old. I mean, I can give you much more, but as you know, I've only got 20 minutes to do this in, so I can't really hang about too much. Here we go. Yeah, this is Exodus. Watch this. This is Exodus chapter 2, verses 24 into 25. Now, I'm not going to say nothing first. I'm going to read it. Watch this. Exodus chapter 2, verse 24. "And the Most High heard their groaning, and the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob." Verse 25. "And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them." Don't say that about another nation. So when you trying to insert yourself into the covenant, yeah, not possible. Now this is for you, Esau, and you Caucasians. Now here is what you received, and you're living it. So you've got your promise. Yeah, because you like to run to that verse and say, "In Abraham, all nations of the earth shall be blessed." You like to run to that verse. Well, this was your blessing. Watch this, yeah? This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 38 to 40. And watch this. Genesis chapter 27 verse 38, and it reads, "And Esau said unto his father," because this is after Esau sold his birthright. Let's get that correct. Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. Jacob got the birthright, still had to go roundabout way to get it, but his mother made sure he got it. Esau came in and still wanted the birthright, the firstborn blessing, after he sold it, yeah? This is Genesis chapter 25 verse Salakia. This is Genesis chapter 27 verse 38, and it reads, And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. That's typical. It's what you always do when you don't get your way. Yeah? Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, here we go, here's your blessing, and you are in it right now. You've received your blessing and you're in it right now. Still performing it, right? Listen to this. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live. There, that's the point I really want to show you. And by thy sword thou shalt live. And when you look at you Caucasians, that's exactly how you've been living, by the sword, by rape, robbery, pillaging, murder. You've gone around conquering people's land, fighting them out with your powerful and vast army, and taking over their lands, renaming it, pushing your history, your doctrine, changing people's identity. And you're living in the best places, eating the best foods, yeah? You don't have to, when you're going away, you don't have to give a reason. If you want to fly out, you don't have to give a reason. But you made sure everybody under you do. Yeah, have to have a passport, have to come to you. Your people, you'll make sure they get a passport much easier. My people, we get it, it takes a bit harder. But, some are eligible and still will get it. But things are not easy for us as they are for you and your people. Because why? Because of this blessing you received. You behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So you've had your blessing. You're in it now. So enjoy, live it up. Don't try to now think you're going to rule with us when we can't rule here with you now. You haven't shared your kingdom. Why would we want to share ours? Yeah? So, I hope I'm about to run out of time. I had actually more that I did want to actually touch on, But this is one thing I want to end on actually. I'm about to time out. I want to read Malachi chapter 4 verse 4. This is a simple basic lesson, that even a 10-year-old could understand. So come on, Esau, get it together and just enjoy the time you have in your kingdom now. Enjoy it best as you can, and just be ready to give up the kingdom when it's time, because you couldn't hold on to it even if you tried. The Most High is the one that gave you this kingdom in the first place. So as much as he's given it to you, he can take it from you whenever he sees fit. Now, this is one thing I want to say to my faithful brothers who are out there who diligently want to learn and keep the commandments and keep the faith and enter into the kingdom. And this is Malachi chapter 4 verse 4, and it reads, Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb, for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. So that's all I want to say. So I hope you got something with that. So Esau, you're finished. And with that, we out.